my gosh. I have a lot to say.
We are live.
That was the shortest episode like ever.
I don't know. I feel like our episode where we were eliminated felt pretty short because
That was short.
as soon as like all the action was happening at the detour, then it was
Yeah.
like, wait, that was it? Like,
That was it. Yes.
I don't know. I feel
But I
like
was like, everyone was like pretty much the same order and it was like pretty smooth. And I feel 100% bamboozled because many people that are on this season said, oh, you just wait for next episode. It gets spicy. There was no drama. There was no spice. There was no confrontation. I wanted Paige and Izzy to see Jag. And no, none of that. None of that happened. I mean, even Tucker was like, I have no idea. This is the beginning of the episode. I have no idea if Rabina made it. Like, I hope so. Like, they haven't even seen each other.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the popular argument that I'm hearing out of a lot of the fans, like on Chat BCC and on TarHub, on Discord, where they're just like, it feels like this could have been designed a little bit better by production. In this situation, you release everyone 3 hours earlier. I mean, we're going to get into more of the details in our panel recap when we bring on all our guests and we really break down this episode. But I think there was like a 4-hour difference between first and last. That's easy to solve. You release them 3 hours earlier than you want to, knowing that eventually everyone's going to catch up.
But in their defense, this is planned and months ago. Like,
yes,
they didn't know there was going to be drama last episode.
No, they did. They designed a leg that had a double U-turn.
But it could have been, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. Like, it could have been, or I want to use it on this person. They got eliminated and there's zero drama. Like, they don't know when it's going to be drama and when it's not going to be drama.
Right.
So they can't just change it. Like, that would be for us. They liked us so much they changed it where we weren't eliminated. Well, they can't do that. There's no way they can do that in the middle of filming. They can't switch things up. But I agree. Meh.
Yeah, second leg in a country. I love the idea. Okay, and this is what I'm going to say. You are doing urban, like around the city, crazy metro, crazy buses, crazy taxis. Like this, that's fun. Then you take a self-drive or you take a train out to the country or you have to do something like, and then it's more rural. It's the a drive all over the map, get lost. Like, so that element, when they stack that in a second leg, is fun because like we saw with like Jack and Chelsea, like we saw with, Paige and Izzy on the way to the, or Izzy and Paige on the way to the, pit stop, you can get lost. You can go the wrong way. So, there is fun drama, I think, in that respect, but
overall, like there was no. It was so. Is it budget? Well, maybe it's budget. I don't know, because I feel like they could have done so much more.
See, I agree. I agree with this. Like, you're the beauty of the country, especially some of these countries where they're going. Like, you harness that easily. They could have thrown in 2 more active route infos, like how you had to go to the house of Houdini and break open the thing or whatever, a couple of more objectives that have like
a couple
some
things that help
opening hours that might equalize
figure it out or break a key or,
right.
Anyways. Okay. Let's chat about it. The first thing.
Well, hold on. Let me get our slides up.
This is what blows my mind. Driving a stick.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you, Jag and Jazz. Love, nothing but love, except for you are idiots. I'm kidding.
Well,
I love you.
And it was such a flex for them to be
they're like, we're truck drivers. About, like, we drive semi-trucks.
We drive gas trucks. We drive commercial.
You don't know how to
we both have
the stick in, and then and I get it. All the stick, like in our leg, there was a button and a thing. I get that it's a little tricky. You don't take 30 seconds to be like, okay, I can't just put it down, so I must push it, button, something like. And if you don't know, like, again, like I just said, last season, they legit had this issue. So you watch last season and you're like, okay, something to remember, because you're going to be driving your own car. Like, why and how is this an issue is like, boggles my mind. Scott and I were talking before. He was like, "I'm just going to tell everyone that they need to do it." I'm like, "Shh, no, no, because if we needed to go back and you don't remember that, well, leg up for us. Like, I'm going to remember that. I'm the driver and I
Yeah.
know to push it down. And I might not know in that very second, be like, wait, crap, what the heck? Oh, down, or wait, button, or like,
Or you can't figure it out right away. Like you get in the car and you immediately test yourself. Can I put this into reverse? It takes like a minute to try. And if you can't, what do?
not even. Yeah.
You go
You both
ask someone.
you both get out of the car and you push it. Jack and Jazz. Nothing but love, except, are you kidding me? You both get out of the car and
Like
push.
I
Why
watched
was there
that.
not a
I
steep
thought
hill?
there was a
Why did the
ditch.
car not just and explode? And that would have been
That would have been
funny
awesome.
as heck. Or
Right.
just down the
Like
street or
what
something.
happened? Like, okay, so here's someone's comment. They think that it could be budget related. Like we're not
Yeah,
seeing
I
as
think
many
so.
tasks or whatever
Yeah.
because budget and they're trying to save maybe for a future season or something. But what would the budget look like if someone pushed a car off a cliff and like exploded and
They're
they had
like,
to like
no more self-driving with stick shifts.
but
But I'm thinking, okay, you don't know how to do it. There's no one to ask. I get the fifth step is to like have someone push it. So Scott or Jag, you get out and I'll have the door open. I'll try to help with my leg
but be
or
close to the door. Be
be
ready to
close
jump in and
or a
hit that.
push right there and I'll be able to jump right in. But to
Yeah.
just both be in the back pushing two grown men, pushing with all their might. I was
No.
like, are you again, race brain? You're like, we just got to move this car. Like, you're just not thinking clearly because
Right.
no one in their right mind would do that.
And then they're trying to grab the fender to keep it from going where they're going. I'm like, you're gonna rip the
You're
whole front
pulling,
fender
yeah,
off
well,
of
you're
the car.
pulling whatever, a ton weight of a car, right?
Yeah, sure.
Tucker could.
Uh,
Ah!
I
That
will
was so
say,
funny.
like, I appreciated the girls. I think it was Stephanie and Natalie who got out and asked somebody. They're like, how do we do this reverse? Like, we need to get
Yeah.
this car out of our parking
Yes.
spot. Like, how do we do this? And like,
Yes.
you know, they had help and
Okay,
you know,
but with Natalie, you cannot, I don't care who you are, you cannot drive with the steering wheel that close to you. I don't care how tiny and petite you are. It needs to be almost arm's
safe.
length because that is so dangerous. The whole time she's like right there with the steering wheel, I'm like, if you get in a car accident, you're toast. Like, I know that, like, with the medical, I'm just like, I was so worried. I was like, please. And I know everyone's gonna be like, she's small, she's short, she's petite. Yeah, but her seat needs to be moved back like 6 inches. That is so dangerous. Oh, I did not like that. They gave
Yeah,
me the
same for Rubina. She was short girl problems, I guess. But you know,
but
yeah,
again,
being too
her arms
close.
were like this. It
Yeah,
needs to be, and not fully extended, but
right.
you need a few more inches.
Yeah.
That is so dangerous.
Something else I'll say, and you know, backing into that fence brings it up, is there's a rule on the race that if you cause any damage, if the owner of that object is present, like car accident, for example, you know, we saw Han and Holden get in a car accident during their, you know, leg. You have to stay and settle up with the person until they're satisfied with the damage that you caused. I don't know if the fence was a different situation here where there wasn't anybody there that maybe
Well,
quote
I don't think
owned the
there was any
fence,
damage.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they bent in. You could see the
Well, but it's a
metal.
chain link fence. I bet it just like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I didn't think anything of it.
yeah.
But still,
Anyways,
so funny. It made me laugh. It made me
yeah.
laugh, Jag and Jazz. Just both
So
get out with your semi-truck certificates and you just both get out and push your car. Just wild. That is just wild.
good stuff. Well,
Ah.
I mean, self-driving, I think, is always going to be a source of some fun and
Oh,
entertainment.
for
It
sure.
certainly
Yeah.
was in this episode. You know, from there, they're driving from Dubrovnik, you know, the quote city part of the
Mhm.
previous leg. They're getting out into the country, and this is Stone, Ston. And they immediately find out after, well, first off, I loved that clue box. by the fountain.
That was cool.
Like,
That
let's
was
talk
very
about
cool.
this for a second.
Well,
Like,
Jack, as his hand is on it, was like, "Well, where do
where
we
do you
look?
think the
Where
clue
is it?"
box is?
And then I love when the camera guys like zoom and they
Yeah,
zoom into something funny that people dropped or ran right by or whatever. Like that
yeah.
is always hysterical. Because again, people you don't understand unless you've
Race
run the race. You are
blinders.
literally running like this and you have no idea. There were so many times I was talking to Darren or some other producer and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm explaining the challenge." And they're like, "Lori, I was
I
there." And
was
I'm like,
there.
"You were there?" I don't remember because I literally didn't see anybody except
Yeah.
Clue Box, my partner, maybe some other teams, like just the challenge. Like it's so bizarre.
Well,
Messes with you.
and again, we saw a little bit there on do you follow other teams or not, right? I mean, Jack
Oh,
and Chelsea, when they first got to that area, didn't even see the clue box because
yeah,
they were
because they were
following
following.
Izzy and
We are
Paige,
jumping
right?
ahead. We need to do the
No, no,
challenge.
no. This was the clue where they ripped and read to find out the detour, which was bag it up
Oh,
or
that's right.
pull it up,
Again,
right?
how did I not remember that? There's only like 3 things they did this episode. Um, oh yeah, I do. Okay. No, I swear that was later because I could only watch half of it last night and I just watched it and it just happened right
Well,
now. That's why I
because
started
they were
laughing because they do
spread
it
that
twice.
far apart,
Oh,
right? Jack
that's
and
true.
Chelsea, Izzy
That's
and
true.
Paige were like 5, 6, 7, like in the back of the pack.
That's what
So,
sucks. Yeah,
yeah.
what sucks about this, like, even if you're first, second, third, they didn't get a lot of airtime because they finished so fast. They were like done, and now other teams. Anyways, so
Yeah.
the challenge was bag or pull.
Yeah. So bag
Easy,
it up,
bag
pull it
it,
up.
bag it,
Why?
one hundred
Why?
percent, just
I
one hundred
agree.
percent physical. Get it
Physical.
done. You don't know. So and when I was watching them do the boat and the pole, it's comical, it's funny. I was like, Kerrigan would have killed that, by the way. But like if you don't know rolling, like it does the poles don't stay in that holder unless you're doing it a certain way. Like if you don't know that, it could be tricky. And most people, even if they know that, it's still tricky because again, they're like, go as fast as you can, and that kind of gets wobbly or whatever. I love that the girls like stood up,
Yeah,
the sisters
2 different.
stood up and
Yeah,
like started going and I was like, I would have
that's
never
smart.
I would have never thought if you and I did do that, I think you'd have been like, let me do it.
"Oh,
And
I
like
got this."
you would have
Yeah.
rode it and I'm like, oh, whatever.
I've got my rowing
And then
merit badge.
I could pull I would have pulled the things up. But I really feel like Baggett would have been what we would have chosen for sure.
Yeah.
And it'll look pretty easy beside like making sure to get the wagon and like running that distance, filling up the bags. I love what the brothers did that it was now I can't remember which brother. One of them
So
stood, I think it was Adam,
Adam stayed
stayed,
bagging
was lifting, and the
the
other brother
salt,
kind of ran back. So yeah, you would have been the
weighing.
boop boop boop, and I would have been like getting it and making sure. But I don't think it would have been an issue for you to seal up the
Well, so
bags. I don't know
so
why it was even an issue. Like,
okay,
isn't that a
so
pretty simple thing to do? I don't know.
it is, unless you seal it too long. And I think what Izzy and Paige's situation was
Oh, is it too
they
long?
had held it too long, and so when they went
Kind of
to
melted and
test it, it had melted through the plastic and then
oh.
ripped easily when they were pulling it away. And so, but like Tucker was saying, like he's used those sealers,
For his
tons of
food.
times.
Well, and we have too for our food storage
Right,
when we are
right.
like taking a large quantity and putting it in smaller things. But I feel like there was a light or a beep or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well,
Like
yeah,
it,
I
we
think we
never
have
had an
that kind of
yeah,
sealer
but I'm like,
because
we never had an issue with that. So that's why I was like, why is that an issue? But that makes sense. If they were like, I'm not sure how long to hold this, and they
right.
held it too
Well,
long and they melted it.
and I like that element because there's something people aren't going to be familiar with, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
like, do they do it too short? And when they go to deliver the bags and the guy's testing it, it pulls open and that
Yeah.
bag
Yeah.
fails. Like, we had a few people that had to go back and redo bags because they failed on the opening. I don't think anyone failed on weight. Everyone was pretty good about making sure all their bags weighed the exact
Yeah.
amount for salt. But I think it was Jazz and Jag. I think it was Jack and Chelsea. I mean, several teams had to run back. Then that was a long distance just to get another bag or two.
Now, who was it? Tucker? No, who's in the front?
Eric,
Not Tucker, because
yeah,
they
Tucker and Eric. Yeah, Tucker
Tucker
and
and
Eric.
Eric were in the front. the second they're like, all right, we got our 10 bags, let's go. I'm like, doing an 11th bag. Like I initially thought, do one more bag
How many
just
coconuts did
in
we do?
case. We
Do you
did
remember?
more just in case. I can't
65.
remember.
This
I
is
can't
5
remember. But
extra
I'm
coconuts.
like, no one did that, which I was surprised because the first team that took off, I was like, oh my gosh, get
They
one more
only took
bag.
10
Because that
bags.
was
Yeah.
but that was a long way to run. And I'm like,
Well,
oh my gosh, oh my
and
gosh.
Nick
And
Nick
then
and Mike failed the wood thing because of not taking enough wood. Like
yeah,
they had to go back for
you
a third
always
trip
take
or
yes.
whatever. So yeah,
And I
take
liked how
extra.
they stacked the wheelbarrow and then like held a couple bags. I mean, we probably would have stacked them a little bit better because you're so crazy with Tetris
The
type
Tetris,
of
yeah.
packing.
Yeah.
But I would have definitely been like, no, we're doing an 11. I would have made you, even if you're like, no, Lori, we're good. I'm like, nope. I would have made you do an 11th bag just in case.
Just in case. I mean, you don't know what's the criteria that they're going to fail bags on. Like you have yet to check in
Yeah.
at that location to find out. Like I think everyone knew weight was going to play a role because they were so focused on has to be between 20 and 21 pounds, and
Yeah.
if you've
They
got
were
to take
too focused on that,
10
not the,
bags, like
yeah.
that's 200
But they were
210
more focused
pounds,
on weight and not to make sure that that was sealed.
right?
Anyways, I would have taken 11. Would you have taken 11?
Oh, I think
Did
we
you
would have taken 12.
automatically?
I think we would have taken 12. Yeah.
Like, here's
Like
our 17 bags. No,
we're like, here's some
uh,
extra, like
uh,
for the teams that are coming behind us, they can use our extra.
yeah,
But again, it's because you have to plan. I don't want to run that whole distance again. I don't want to go back with the wheelbarrow. I mean, that's time. And I think in this situation, Jazz and Jag got to the detour in second place, but they didn't leave the detour until third. Kylan and Taylor actually jump frogged them, even though they were struggling with the oars because they did their challenge in one attempt and Jazz and Jag had to do it in two. So,
that's true.
I don't know. I feel like
I
the
don't
right
remember
answer here
who it
is
was.
physical.
Maybe it was Tucker. I can't remember. They did one scoop and they're like, just weigh the one scoop so I know
Yeah.
how many
How
scoops. I
many
kind
scoops to
of
do?
laughed. I was like, I don't think I would have thought of that. I would have like filled it to a good amount and then it would like but that makes more sense to
Well,
just do
just
the
like you did with the rice in
no,
Bali. You're like, let me see where I'm at with weight so I know how much more
no,
I need to do. You were like 2/3 of the way through the bag. And,
yeah,
then you're like, okay, I got to go back. I got to get some more. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know. The system
yeah,
makes sense. But yeah, I think everyone that chose the boat struggled. And I think in general, that's why the Amazing Race keeps going with boats. Like when you have to like kayak yourself across the river, like there's going to be drama in not
yeah,
knowing how to maneuver the boat or, whatever. So I
yeah.
feel like if I can stay away from that kind of a variable, like, I mean, clearly you can have wheelbarrow issues, but like
Yeah.
usually not. But
Like this picture.
yeah, that's what I was looking at the photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, clearly
Oh
things can
man.
work.
I know
But
overall it wasn't a fabulous episode. It was just I was like, that's it. Like that's
yeah,
where they just needed to add a couple more little, even a small little thing, like you said earlier, just like I
another
don't know.
active
There's
route
just
info,
kind of
another
like there was
challenge of
no
some
drama.
sort.
Yeah, there was no
Yeah,
drama. There was no like Croatia's gorgeous. Like they should have shown more. And I know it's kind of tricky with that kind of weather, but I'm like, they could have run to a field and built
but
something or
right
looked,
here
I don't
at
know,
this
something.
challenge, like you don't need to redesign this leg. You just have opening hours of 9 a.m. for the salt factory and same 9
Mhm.
a.m. starting time for the boat marina where you've got to take the boats out to get the things or
Oh,
whatever and release
then
the teams 3
just
hours
that alone
earlier.
would have made it a whole other episode. It would have been fantastic because there would be bickering and there would be cattiness
I
and there would
mean,
be
there's a
drama
chance the
and then
U-turn
people are
team
running even faster.
Well, there's a chance a U-turn team chose the other detour, and there
Yeah.
isn't the drama. But in this
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
Jazz and Jags did salt, Izzy and Paige did salt. There was going to be drama at this,
Oh my
challenge if
gosh.
there had been an equalizer. And so again, I feel like there's just a couple of easy tweaks. Could have
Yes.
made this an
Now,
incredible episode.
I know that you are constantly getting a hold of past racers and people that have stuff to do with the Amazing Race
Yes,
to be on our
could be
podcast.
guests on our podcast, right?
And can I tell them about the one producer you talked to?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, there's a
There's still a
producer,
chance.
and this he's like, well, I don't know if I could be on. Like, I can't give any spoilers. And we're like, well, Dev, of course, we're not going to ask you that. But I would be curious to ask him, like, when you're seeing this unfold, couldn't you change like the start? Like, everybody, let's just change the start time because look at this drama. Like, that would have been easy to change.
Right.
Like, some of the things you can't change, like you can't change when the airplane like major things. But I'm like, why couldn't they have easily been like, let's change it to 9 a.m. because then everyone, like, that would be a great question to ask him. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. How much
can that
wiggle
ever
room
happen? Yeah, how
within
much wiggle
the
room
rules of the
has
race
that ever
does
happened before? And
production
maybe
have?
he's gonna be
Yeah.
like, I can't tell you," which is fine, but
Right.
I'm like, that would be because that alone, Scott, you nailed it. That alone it would have made
Changes
it one
this
of the
whole
best
thing.
episodes. It would
Well,
have made it one of the
and
best episodes.
I felt like, again, there was a rule that only one shovel per team, and there was easily like 8 shovels there. Like everyone could have chosen
Oh, I
salt.
didn't get that. Okay,
It
okay.
would have been hilarious to watch them jockeying for weight on one scale. There was only one scale to weigh your bags on. So
Yes.
then are you weighing every single bag? Because now you're having to wait for the chance to weigh that bag, or are you like comparing one bag to the next and feeling like, well, this feels close,
Oh,
like
like,
because
you weigh one
there's a
bag, you have to
time
get in the
thing.
back of the line.
Yeah,
Oh, that would
like
have been so much
I don't
better.
know if I'm weighing every
Yeah.
bag if I'm having to wait to weigh the bag. And there's other teams there that are like leaving or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. It
But yeah,
just
you have
changes this
3
whole
bags. Are they
dynamic.
letting you weigh all 3 in a row, or they're like one at a time getting like,
Right. Like
oh
that's
my
just
gosh. Now you
I don't
have to
know.
just text him and ask him, be like,
Well,
"I know
and
you
then
may not be able to answer this, but could this ever happen?"
yeah, we will find out. We will see if we can get the answer maybe
Oh my
by our
gosh, I
panel
really, really
recap.
want him on the show. Not to
Yes,
obviously you can't spoil everything, but I'm like, just fun behind the scenes stuff or the planning
totally.
of it. Like, just
Totally.
stuff like that. I'm like, I have a million questions for you.
Well, from
Anyway,
here, and I love that. Like
yeah.
again, Izzy was so mad she kicks the
She's
wheelbarrow,
taking it out. She's
taking it
taking
out, having
Jazz
her
and Jag
moment.
frustration out on the
Yeah.
wheelbarrow.
But I thought it was smart that they were like, you know, approaching it the way they did, trying to be more methodic, just
Yeah.
clambering their way up, little by little. So from there, they go to the roadblock. The roadblock is who knows their way around Croatia.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
Clearly, most of these teams don't know their way around Croatia because they're like
Well, there was a
all
couple
over
teams
the
that just
place.
walked past the map. They
Yeah.
didn't even see it.
Apparently, they
Okay.
don't know what a relief map is. Do you know what a relief map is? I'm not sure
I
if you
would
do.
I would not have known. I mean, I would have
Okay.
seen that map there. Like, that was pretty big and obvious.
But it
Like, right
wasn't
where you
right
leave.
next to where
Oh,
the clue
I
box
thought you
was.
had to run past it.
It
Like,
was
it
like
was in that
over
area.
in the square a little bit like
Huh.
off, but still like huge prop in the middle
Yeah,
of a square.
memory is, not a great thing. I don't have a great memory. I have to remember so many things with my kids. I just don't have a great memory. I could have done that challenge. It probably would have taken me triple as long as them because I can't run as fast or run as long, and memory I would have struggled, especially, which I think is brilliant.
I
They
love
change the
this.
questions every time.
Love this.
Loved that. So I would have known right away. It would have been you, and you would have done it, and you would have done it one time. Running would have been a little slower for you, but memory, you would have that
Right.
would have been easy. You could have told them the whole on every shield. On shield 1, on shield 2,
Yeah, so
and they're like,
I have
"Dude, we don't need all
almost a
that information."
photographic memory where I
Yes,
can
yes,
remember
that's why
where
you'd have been
on a page
perfect.
something
Yeah,
is. And to answer your question here, Speed, I pretty sure I heard almost every team say something about on the map.
yeah,
So I do think there was a clear reference in the clue itself, not the
yeah, there was.
additional information, but the clue itself that like you needed to reference the map. I thought it was a super cool map. Relief map basically just shows all the elevation, shows the terrain, kind of thing. And it showed
Yeah.
the different shields that you needed to navigate around to find. Each shield had 3 different facts on it. So 9 facts in total that you had to memorize. And then you were going to be asked 3 questions. I thought it was brilliant that
Mhm.
before Jazz ran away,
Oh,
he said, well, are they asking the same 3 questions each time?
yeah, I
Or
would have
is it
never
gonna be
thought of
different?
that.
Because he knew there were 9 items. And if it's
Yeah,
just those 3, you run back to
smart.
that shield, answer those details,
What
right back
Taylor did.
in and out. Right.
Yeah.
But he's like, let me just go back and see if it's the right questions. Baller move, genius. I
Oh
don't
my
know if
gosh.
I would have thought to
No,
do
I
that.
would have never thought of that. That was brilliant of Amazing Race
Yeah.
Production, whoever planned that. That's
So,
different questions. I love
yes.
that.
And
But yeah,
so
stellar move of let me just go back and ask him. I'm like,
I think
what?
everyone would have, Riot. I feel like everyone's thinking that this challenge is set up like
Yep.
linearly, almost like this leg was. And so
Yep.
the idea that the questions might change would not have registered in my mind, but for Jazz, it did. And I love it because at
I
that
love
point,
it.
yes, he ruined a second attempt, but he did 3 attempts on 2 runs versus 3 attempts on 3 runs. That's a
Yeah.
significant, difference
Did
as far
he
as like
talk about
time.
that in Chat GPT or whatever it
He
is?
talks about it on Discord. He's
Okay.
a little bit more active in the Tar Hub on Discord, only
Okay.
because Chat BCC are like drilling these male teams. Like they are relentless with their hatred, like
Oh,
throwing tomatoes and stuff. And so I feel like these male teams that are dominating right now at the front of the pack are having a hard time getting their reasoning out there for the fans to kind of hear, because
no.
they're just getting pummeled with tomatoes like as they're trying to share. I hope that changes. I hope we're halfway through the season right now. I hope the fandom realizes that if they chase away the racers and don't give them a forum to
Yeah,
share,
then
like then we're missing out on so much
yeah.
related to this
Yeah. And it's
season because
fine
they're
if
not
they say
sharing.
something mean or rude or, out of the box. Yes, you can throw a tomato, but just because I mean, this is still an experience for them. Like they're earning that. Sorry, like if it's against a female team or a male female, they are still winning. They're still doing great. Like to them, it's still once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
And if no matter what they say, they're just like, I don't
Yeah.
like that.
So, anyways, he was talking about the fact that we were dumb, like pushing our car. We should have figured that out. Like we realized how stupid we
Okay,
are,
good.
and then they also talked about the fact that like, in this moment, he realized like, hey, what if? And entertaining that took 5 seconds and
Yeah,
saved
I would have never
10
thought of that.
minutes. Who knows, right? And
But
so
I did
solid
write
move.
that down on my little notes of extra things for the amazing race in case, just in
Yeah.
case, because I don't feel like they've ever done that. Have they ever done that where they've changed the questions of
I
some
feel
kind?
like it's
And
always been the
maybe,
same questions. I don't know. I
yeah.
mean,
Where is reality TV fan? He
yeah.
would know. He would know.
Kiwi,
I'm gonna.
Dom,
Yep.
like all
Hey,
these
Kiwi
guys that
Dom.
are like,
I'm gonna message him and
yeah.
ask them because
Well, some of our
that's
fans here, they may also know. They can give us a clue, but um
again, even though I've seen every episode, I can't remember. I can't remember. Like I can't remember on season 17, this team named these two names, did this challenge and they got this place. Like that is like I'm rewatching what season am I on right now, Scott? I'm rewatching
25?
the ice cream makers, the sign ice cream
Yeah, 25. I think that's 25.
25. And I was like, they win? Like, I'm like, I just met her in LA and I remember her telling me she's one of the winners. I don't remember her as a winner. And then I start watching, I'm like, she wins? I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I've already seen it. And anyways.
So somebody said we should throw tomatoes at production. Let's not do that because we still want to show. But then also, yeah, it has been a certain female team's fan base that's kind of making that chat unpleasant for other people. And I guess what I'm a boomer. I'm old. Like I don't realize that in Twitter fandom, this is what you do. Like to show that you're a fan, you go like stan fan, like extra to the extent of like trashing other fans. Like, and this is apparently the etiquette that's acceptable and people are okay with it. I was not prepared for that. And so when I was
Yeah,
seeing
I
it
don't like
happening,
that.
I was like, hey, wait, let's all go, get along. Let's be nice. And everyone's like, we are being nice. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like,
You're
this
like,
is not nice. But
uh,
it's how they show their love
that's the
and
way they're
support of
doing
the
it. Okay. That
team
makes sense.
by
That makes
being
sense.
ultra like the other way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I will say
anyways,
that for production, I know, for our season, when we got a call back, they were like, we're not really looking for another female male team
yeah,
or a male team.
we
Like
almost didn't make it on our season.
the hardest teams to fill are female. So is that production's fault or is that us women? Why are we not getting our bestie or our sister or our mom and applying for the show? Like
Yeah,
the pool for them to grab the
choose
teens out of
from.
are very small. And she said, this has been the case ever since she's been a casting producer. I don't think I'm saying too much.
No,
Um,
I think it's fair.
so I know that that's hard to fill. So when everyone gets mad at the male teams, which, males are stronger and
Oof,
usually can
easy.
do, I mean, there's been a lot of female teams that have won, but I'm
Yeah,
like, It's a little
It's
bit
been
of,
a while though.
it is a little bit of production and maybe a little bit of casting, but it's also our fault for not applying with my best friend. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just, it's a harder role to fill. But yeah, she was like, we don't need to fill any more male, female teams, but I really like you. So I'm going to pass you on to Jesse. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
Thank
my
goodness.
gosh.
Thank goodness. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go
So
on.
yeah, I thoughts on this episode, or I'm sorry, on this challenge with running around with the shields and everything. Um, did you think they were being too strict on requiring like the word feet in some of the answers? Like they got the number right, but they didn't include the unit and they
No,
failed.
because that's what was on the board. Like
I agree.
whatever was on
That
the
was
board, they had to
right.
say.
That's
My
that was my
issue
rebuttal.
when I was like the people's names, I'm like, I don't even know how to say that. Like, I'm like, so I would have gone up there and been like,
Bottom schlottom.
Mr. Blothem, and then been like, or like I would have been like, I would have like what was one of the names? Do you remember?
King Tamelskik or something. Yeah.
And I would have been like Chamelshkik. And like, would they have given
Would
it
they
to
have
me? 'Cause
passed
I
it?
can't
I think
say
so.
that name. I
I
don't
think so.
know. But I was like, oh, that was tricky. I know, okay, the Amazing Race is so hard, no matter what, even if it's an easy leg like this, but also weather, like
Oh, the
it
rain
was
at the
pouring
beginning.
rain, it was puddles everywhere, there's mud, it makes it, I mean, everyone's feet were drenched, like, that makes it so much harder to do a hard race, like,
Yeah.
the whole time I was like, we didn't bring anything for the rain for us, for our season.
No.
I remember when it started raining in Hong Kong and everyone took out, like, that little pack or
The
that bag
poncho thing that go over their
to put
bags.
over their packs, and I was
We didn't
like,
have that.
we didn't. I'm like, they have that? Like, I didn't even think of getting, I thought it would just be warm weather where we were going. Thank goodness, because we only brought warm weather stuff.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, the rain was brutal. Yeah, that's, I have, again, I'm taking notes. I'm always taking notes just in case. And with this season, they've gone to a lot of cold places. And I'm like, I mean, I
for
brought
what it's worth,
leggings and sweats and one puffy coat, but that's all we brought on ours. And I'm like, maybe I need to rethink how I'm going to pack.
yeah,
because it's
for
freezing
sure.
and I get cold so easily.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
I would have never lasted. Like, I'm like, what would I do? Like, I'd be like, use our leg money. Let's go into the store and go buy some clothes. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we definitely need to rethink packing as far as outfits go because you need layers.
I need lots of
just
layers. Now,
some extra insulation.
we've gotten zero confirmation of us going back. I'm just saying we're just
preparing.
thinking. We're just wishing, hoping, putting it out there. But I don't want anyone to think like, oh my gosh, Lauren Scott are packing for the. No, we're not.
So what were your thoughts on teams working together on this roadblock? Like,
oh my gosh, it's so bizarre.
Jonathan, or not Jonathan. Bizarre. Oh, we saw Joseph and Adam working with Stephanie and Natalie again. And again, they're part of Team Trainwreck, you know, like it's a alliance that has been here for a few episodes now. They're in the middle of the pack. Good, bad thoughts?
It's so bizarre. First of all, it's so bizarre to just watch this type of gameplay in The Amazing Race because it so rarely happens. I try to think if I was racing, if we were in the race and like maybe like Danny and his mom, I'm like, okay, Danny and I are at this challenge. I would probably help him and he would probably help me. We're friends. We know each other. But this is the only caveat. If we're number one and number two, neither of us are helping each other.
Like that should be understood. Like we're
and I
racing for a prize.
Danny would know well enough.
I don't think anyone would be mad
with me. And if we're at the very end, last and second to last, I don't think we're helping each other. I'm not going to ask him. I don't think he would ask me. In the middle, I can see a little bit more help. Again, there wasn't a lot of that on our season. Like if it was Jeff and Pops, we would have. Like again, it just is like maybe this, maybe that, but definitely not here and definitely not there.
Are you turning around your car and driving back to find another team so you guys can drive together to the next spot? No,
never that. But
sorry.
That, I mean, I am
no
so
hate
glad
to Natalie and Stephanie for this.
Cute Phil was like, that's I think the loudest team. And I was like, Phil, how dare you say that? Because that is a talent of mine, and maybe I didn't show it enough in the season that I was in. I am extremely loud, and I love. Like I feel like it's honestly it's a talent because even though it's obnoxious and people hate it, I think it's a talent because no matter where my children are at,
Yeah.
they know that their mom is there because I am so freaking loud.
It's
So
literally a full stadium at a varsity football game. Lori can do her woo woo woo, our family yell thing, and our kids turn around immediately. They
yeah.
see their mom. They know their mom's
And
there
I'm talking like the very
supporting.
back of the state. Like I
Yeah,
like the very back top row. Anyways, so I would have like yelled to him, "We're going!" Like I would have yelled. I would have never driven the car around that.
like
That's
still
crazy to me.
communicate. Like,
Communicate,
hey,
trying to
we're still trying
communicate.
to help you guys, but
Yes, but
we're parked around the corner. I don't
yeah,
know where this is from where I parked. I'm
no,
not
because they're not
circling
parked right next to each
town
other. And maybe if
trying to
that,
find you
yeah,
so we can
yeah, it's
like
weird.
drive together. Like you're on your own to the pit stop at this point. Like,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, I agree, Riot. It's just too bizarre for me to see teams working. And again, they knew there were teams behind them. So maybe
yeah,
they're like, we're in the middle of the pack. This doesn't hurt us. We're not going
yeah.
for first. We're not racing for last.
But like
Why not
Stephanie
just
said,
get
they're
there
like, "You
together?
wanna risk one placement different?" And I'm like, "Does that really matter? Does it?" Like, I don't know. I think she kind of overreacted, but I totally get why like, I'm like, I I don't know. I guess in the middle of the pack, if you know everybody, like if we were racing with all these teams that we knew in the middle of the pack, yeah, we probably would be a little bit more chatty and helpful. But again, not first,
Not if you're
second,
in
and not
first
the
or not
last
near
second to
last.
last. We're not doing
Now,
that.
same challenge, different situation between two teams. They show up, Izzy and Paige, Jack and Chelsea. Jack and Chelsea actually get there first because they did a little bit better job getting directions and driving. Izzy and Paige shows up. Izzy asks Jack, hey, we know there's a team behind us. Do we want to work together on this challenge to ensure we both survive and don't get that other team a chance to catch up? Smart move by Izzy or not? Jack didn't agree to the help. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's so hard.
It's just hard
It's
to
so
think about working
tricky
with other teams, right?
because Jack probably didn't think once about working with anybody. And so now he's kind of caught off guard. Now he looks like the meanie because he didn't say yes. But
Yeah.
then Izzy's like, no, let's just like get out of here as quickly as possible.
Survive.
But they didn't see the other team. Like they are so far behind. They could have walked the whole thing and beat the last team. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to be the initiator of, hey, want to work together because it could be, no, I'm
Yes.
good. You
No,
know,
we're good. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Awkward.
hard. I do
Yeah.
like what were the two teams? Oh, I can't even remember the two teams when they were doing the shield challenge. He was like, "I'll just follow her," and then they
Oh,
helped like memorize them
Stephanie and
together.
Joseph.
Oh,
Or
that's right,
no,
Stephanie and
sorry,
Joseph.
Stephanie and Adam. Adam, not
Adam.
Adam.
So Adam like
Yeah.
ran, just followed her, which was like, I was like, that's brilliant. Like, just follow her. Like, but then like helped her at the same time was like, what about
Right. They
this?
were
What about this?
drilling.
And
They
like,
were
yes,
like
they were drilling each other. So that I was
remembering
like,
the answers.
they are helping each other, even though they're like want to help each other, or maybe I can't even remember if they
Yeah.
asked, but I was like, I like that he could have just followed her and like memorized and then ran back, but like he helped her as well. Like I thought that was cool. Again, it's just so not normal for the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching past seasons. I just finished 18 or 20 and I just started a new season and I'm like, they still call each other like the dentists and like they don't even have names yet. Like I'm just like, no one would work with anyone. It's
Yeah.
just so weird.
Well, and I'll say I thought it was a baller move for Izzy to suggest it because when you're in a survival mode, if
Yeah.
you're race aware enough to know there's another team behind you and there's
Yeah.
a chance that you two working together allows you both to survive and you're not relegating one of you to be the one fighting that other team.
True.
I think that's a baller move. I'm going to go out and say that I thought Izzy did a great job here suggesting it
Yeah.
because we did a similar thing when we ran into the intersection getting into Japan during leg 2. We got to that clue box and production had screwed up and put too many clues in the box. We get there in last place. I see one more clue envelope. I suggest to you and to Bernie and Kerrigan that are right there that, hey, I saw one clue in there still. Somebody must be lost. If we get to the intersection, there's another team waiting. Let's partner up together and force that team waiting to have to wait for that team to behind us because that gives us a
A
leg
little
up,
leg up.
you
Yeah.
know? And so I
That's true.
think that's a smart decision in those moments of how can we survive together and not be fighting each other, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. thoughts there. But I also want to say I thought Joseph, 2 physical challenges between the salt and the running. He's managing his diabetes here. I thought it was smart of him to recognize I'm going to go easy on this first challenge with the salt and manage my sugar because I think I'm going to need to step up in this roadblock. Like, that's smart. That's realizing your limitations and managing it appropriately. Sat down as he's studying the board and rested while you're taking that moment to memorize. I don't know if adrenaline would let me sit down, but that was smart of him to like, let's get control back
his limits.
on our sugar. So like, that was huge. I love that. So kudos there. All right. From there, they've got a race to the pit stop. It's on the beach in that full diver outfit guy.
That was awesome.
That was hilarious.
It was just like Tucker and Eric. I mean, were they even on the show? Like, they finished so fast. I'm like, they were done in what, 15, 20 minutes of the show. And I'm like,
maybe.
That is just, it's when a team can finish that fast, production needs to be like, okay, we need to add a couple elements or an equalizer or something. The
only time
like 9 a.m., that would have been brilliant, Scott.
The only time they saw another team was when they were finishing running back to their cars and Jazz and Jag were arriving, asking where the wheelbarrows are. That tells you how close everyone else was. They weren't. Yeah. They weren't even close.
They weren't.
And it took Jazz and Jag forever to get that, So yeah, crazy.
Well, one of the people I follow online is CBS RTV, and they posted.
Oh yeah, RTV. CBS RTV. Yeah.
Can you read it, honey?
It says this Wednesday will be the 6th leg of season 38. Fun fact. Yeah, I can't do that lower part. Yeah,
fun fact. Out of the last 7 seasons, 6 of them on leg 6 were won by all guys teams. Will this continue again this season? So it's interesting to see. I know it's blurry.
Sorry. Yeah, who won those?
We'll follow CBS RTV. They do a lot of little fun facts of dates and names and placements and stuff that I'm like, oh, that's way over my head. I don't think that's more like what Scott thinks. Like, Scott's all mathy. I'm not mathy at all. But I thought that was an interesting leg.
Yeah.
Or a fact about that leg.
Yeah, fun fact about the leg. And it held up. Like, there was a male team that did win this leg. And so I guess now it's 7 out of the last 8 seasons of leg 6 was won by male teams.
Yep.
Well, that leads, I think, well into our next section of our live. It's interesting. We've already been going 40 minutes, and I felt like it was kind of a lackluster episode, but there was still, I guess, a lot to talk about. So
I guess so.
Yeah, this was the question we put out there on our questionnaire. We didn't have nearly as many responses this week. I think last week we had 50 responses. This week there was only 29. But we asked you, which team did you think was going to win leg 6 of the Amazing Race? And 12 of you said it would be Tucker and Eric, and you were right. These were the 12 people. These were the extra entries they earned. Let me pull up our wheel. Oh, hold on. I got to stop sharing this one for a second. And we will spin and see who wins. I got a first shuffle. And here we go. It is
Joy.
Joy
or Joy. Either one will win. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So good job, Joy. You got the win. So reach out to us. That's $10, either Venmo or gift card or something. But for the next question, we asked who was going to get eliminated during this leg.
Oh, shoot.
This was hard.
Because this season, there's not a lot of changing placements. There's not a lot like us coming in last place, ending in second place. There's not a lot of that crazy
placement
shuffling. It's pretty easy to guess that Tucker was going to win and that Rabina is going to be eliminated. Like, come on, production. Like, since you said if they did that, like, the thing opens at 9 a.m., I don't know who would have won. I don't know who would have been eliminated. Like, it would have been an
interesting shuffle.
It would have made everyone on the edge of their seats like, the drama.
Well, I mean,
them seeing each other.
That's why they had the monkey sanctuary in ours. I mean, they were equalizing us because they were going to make us all live vote together. But still, the drama that was unfolding in that monkey sanctuary while we were waiting to get
Yeah.
in, that's
Yeah.
the stuff you want to see on TV. We could have had that in this
Yeah.
episode, but they didn't plan it. So anyways, we had 14 of you say it was going to be Christina Rubina, almost half. You were absolutely right. This is how those entries kind of shook out. Again, we had some
Yep.
people get extra entries because they follow us in multiple different areas. So thanks for doing that. We appreciate you there. So let's get over to that. And we will shuffle and spin. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. So
Oh,
close.
Ran.
Ran, good job. Congratulations.
Nice.
So this was $5. Reach out to us on social media or
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get you that $5 Venmo or gift card. And then last was who's responsible for the episode title. This one wasn't spoiled. This one was hidden from the
Who said
previews.
it? I don't remember who said it.
So this was Taylor. Taylor was the one that who said the system hacked me. And if I remember it correctly, it was because she thought all I got to do is run back to the board and find those 3 answers because I hacked the system.
Oh,
And then come to
the
find out the
system
system
hacked
actually
me.
hacked her because
Ah!
I think for the first time in Amazing Race history, they shuffled up the questions, which I thought
That
was
was
brilliant.
amazing.
I love
Brilliant.
this for
Brilliant.
production. I love the fact that they
Yeah.
did this. So we did have 6 people that successfully guessed that was the team that was going to say it. I don't know how you
Wow.
guessed it. I
I
went
don't know.
back to
It's a
check
guess.
if they cheated and submitted their answers after the fact. No, these people all guessed ahead of time. So good for you.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
can vote anytime, but
no, but I do feel like it's kind of cheating if you
hey,
watch
if
the
you got
episode.
the answer and then you did it
You're
to win
using your
money,
resources,
yes, you are
right?
using your resources.
Good for you. And you're still participating in our thing. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. All right, let me shift over to the wheel. Less entries, higher chance of winning, but we'll shuffle and spin. This again, $5. Jennifer, congratulations.
Nice.
You won $5. So
Nice.
okay.
As Brad said at the end that they'll probably be flying next episode, so that could be an equalizer. But last episode, so many people were like, "Oh, you just wait, drama."
Yeah.
There was no drama, so now I'm like, "Will it be next episode? I don't know. We'll see."
Episode
so.
7. I think the title is. Oh, you know what? I do have it here. It is. It feels like falling the whole time. Skydiving again. We saw it in the preview.
Oh.
They're going to be skydiving into another country.
And I liked what Paige said, something like, "What have I gotten myself into?" I can't remember, but I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
But wasn't it interesting when they skydived in our season, the goggles were totally different than this place, like a different country has completely different gear.
Different
Did you
setup.
notice that? I was
Safety.
like, what is happening with those goggles? Those are the weirdest goggles I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh,
hopefully it's fun. I feel like, again, when you have to fly from one leg to another and there's less flight options, that definitely clumps teams, if not equalizes everyone on the same flight.
Right.
I don't think it'll be a chartered flight, but it might be again, like we saw going into Dubrovnik was charter. They might charter going out, and that's going to equalize everyone. Who knows? But I do think there's an equalizer coming. I do think that even the limited number of flights to get people up to the skydiving challenge is going to be another, either like there's 7 teams left and we've got a group of 4 and a group of 3 and there's only 2 and we're going to get some clumping there. So either way, I think there's going to definitely be some drama on this next episode. But before we get to the next episode, let's talk about who we're going to have on our panel.
I'm excited.
Are you?
So cute. Angela and Lexi will be joining us.
Yes.
We'll be filming it on Saturday, probably posting it Saturday night or Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to try to post it Saturday night still. We're going to be meeting with them, I think, to record it in the afternoon. Just with my schedule working, their schedule with a lot of stuff they've got on their plate. Lexi and it just worked out better to do it on Saturday. So we're going to do it on Saturday. They're not in the race. They got eliminated in the second episode. It was tragic. She's fun to watch. We all love Angela. Lexi was equally fun to watch. But one of the things that we wanted to do was, if any of these teams that had been eliminated want to come on the recap, we'd love to have you. We love to have former racers. We're trying to get fans on here it's going to be a lot of fun. And I am excited to hear what they have to offer in the way of opinions, because they're still avidly watching this season, just like the
Mhm.
rest of us. Like, you're not all of a sudden not a fan of the show just because you got eliminated. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to have them back. I just lined up our last guest. The fifth slot's going to be filled with Haymaker Hattie. It's actually Jessica Lease. She is Rob has a podcast. She's been podcasting Amazing Race longer than anybody that I know has been
Oh my
podcasting
gosh, I
Amazing
didn't know
Race.
that fun
Yeah.
fact.
And so
Cool.
she's, well, I mean, actively still. There's been
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcasts who have done longer, I think more seasons maybe, but she's been doing it since season 21. She took over as like a correspondent for Rob at one point, just fun facts, but she's an avid fan of the show. She knows details like off the top of her head that I'm just always amazed by. I'm
Didn't
like,
we meet her
where
in
did
New
you pull from? Yes, yes. She was
Okay,
in New
okay.
York at the finale. We had a chance to meet her. I don't know if we got a picture with her, but anyway, she's a lot of fun. I'm excited to have her on the show because it's
Fun.
going to be just a great episode to recap. And I'm sure there's things that she can share. She probably knows many of the answers we had during this live Q&A. She could have answered for us. Like, oh yeah, the last time they did this was in season 8
Yeah.
and
Oh,
episode
yes.
5. Like, she's
Yes.
hardcore that way. So
That's awesome. Oh,
yeah.
it'll be fun. It'll be a
Anyway,
lot of fun.
so thank you guys for joining us for our hot takes. This is just always fun for us just to get a real quick. We just barely watched it last night. What's our thoughts this morning? And
Yeah.
hearing your thoughts is just really helps us kind of enjoy this dialogue, this fun that is the Amazing Race. But we're going to wrap up for now and work on getting that recap prepared for you guys so we can bring in lots more details to share. So tune in to us for our panel recap later. But love you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Love you.